I know. So anyway, we'll go through some of the, I don't know the name, but I will read some of the things Prabhupada said about this song.
Okay.
So we can start now.
Okay.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Shodhanandana Rajajana Ranjana Shodhanandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jashodhanandana Rajajana Ranjana Jashodhanandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Sisi Radha Madhava Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. So it was suggested by Laura from Adelaide in Australia that she would like that we discuss some songs of Narottam Das Thakur. So we have finished our spiritual bypassing, so we're going to begin with this. We'll see how it goes, see how we feel about it. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavare Paschatya Dastarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pango Langayati Girim Krapa Tamaham Bande Siguru Dinatarinam Vanchakapatru Vyascha Krapa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I don't know if you're aware that at one point in his life, George Harrison wanted to move into the temple, shave up, become a full-time devotee. And Prabhupada said, at one time he said that, either he said it to him or he said in general, that George Harrison had done more to spread the holy name than any of us. So Prabhupada said, no, use your talents, use your skills in music for spreading Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada said, there's so many songs you could sing. And then Prabhupada showed him the song we're going to discuss today, which is a song by Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur is a great kirtaniya and a great poet who lived shortly after the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who Lord Chaitanya knew was coming and had put his prema in a river in Narottama. When he bathed in that river, got that prema, and that was all planned out. And he developed a specific style of kirtan, bhajan. And often, at least as we know today, music has a great effect on people, the words of songs. So it was one of the ways that preaching happened. It's interesting because in our tradition, you see the songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, those are very simple songs, like we could call them folk songs. And sometimes in kirtan, the devotees would sing those songs. They were singing to the people. They were telling the people, wake up, stop sleeping in the lap of Maya. So they were preaching, quote unquote, through kirtan in the street to people. So this was a tradition. Narottam Das Thakur wrote many songs about his own life. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also about his own struggles, other great Vaishnavas. So they either write songs to the people or about themselves, representing the people, representing the struggles. So it's kind of interesting. We sometimes we sing these bhajans, but we really haven't adopted that style so much where someone gives a Sunday feast lecture and sings like 8 songs, explaining the philosophy. But that's kind of, in a sense, what they were doing. And, we don't know Bengali, so sometimes when we sing the songs, we don't really enter into it because we don't know what we're singing. But we should, if we're going to sing the songs, we should know. I just read a story where one devotee was outside Prabhupada's room and he was singing a bhajan and then he stopped and she could hear him crying. So it's very deep. Parama Karuna Bahudvijana, the 2 lords, Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Mercy. So Prabhupada was singing that, just meditating on it, getting deep and deeply involved in the emotion. So music is powerful. This song that we're going to discuss today, I actually sang it in English. If you go to Mahatma's music, which should now be on mahatmadas.com, and you go to English songs or unreleased songs, it's there. It begins, although I've taken birth. No, anyway, maybe, why don't I just play it for you? What do you think? Yeah, you get an idea in English. So let me find that song. Just give me one moment. I produced USB sticks, and all these songs are on those USB sticks. So songs in English, okay. I titled it Drink Poison. Okay, so I have to share it, and you're going to have to tell me that you're hearing it. Share sound. Let's see what happens. Although taking human birth finally, oh Lord, I spent my life uselessly. I hadn't worshipped your love till his feet. Thus I drank poison as if it were sweet. Thus I drank poison as if it were sweet. Oh, no, 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 no. So I'm going to share on the screen now
Voy a
the words
compartir
because I don't know
la letra,
if you were able to understand them.
porque no sé si
That
la
recording was
entendieron.
done,
Esa grabación se
it's
hizo
been like 1996 or something. And the reason
como en
I probably should redo it. It
1996.
wasn't recorded with good equipment, but
Yo debería rehacerlo porque no fue grabada con buen equipo.
I did it because Prabhupada
Lo
said it was his
hice
favorite
porque
song. So I'll just read it.
lo hice porque Prabhupada
This
dijo
is
que era su canción
me
favorita.
putting it a little poetically.
Aquí lo
Although
puse un
taking
poco
human birth
de forma
finally,
poética,
oh Lord, I've spent my life
aunque
uselessly.
tomé
I
esta
haven't
forma
worshipped your
humana,
lotus
finalmente,
feet.
oh Señor, he pasado mi
Thus I
vida
drank poison as if it were
inútilmente.
sweet.
No te he
And the oh
alabado a
no
tus
no
pies el
no
loto.
was not
Así
Narottama dasa.
yo tomé veneno. Yo bebí veneno,
Yeah.
como si fuera dulce.
A little icing there. The treasure of prema is
El
found in your
tesoro de
name,
prema se
but my
encuentra en tu
taste for
nombre, pero
chanting
mi
is a
gusto por
shame.
canto es
Day
una
and night my
vergüenza.
heart burns
Día y
from
noche
desire,
mi
but I
corazón se
never
quema
try
de
to put
deseo,
out the
pero
fire.
nunca trato de apagar
The
el fuego.
son of the king of Braja
El
became
hijo
the son of
del rey de
Sachi, Lord
Braja,
Chaitanya, and
el
Balaram became Lord
hijo de
Nitai, the
Sachi,
holy
el
names
señor
delivered
Chaitanya y
Jadai
Balaram
and
se
Madhava.
volvieron el señor Nitai. Los
O Lord
santos
Krishna, son
nombres
of Nanda, with the
entregaron,
daughter of Vrishabhanu, please be merciful to
liberaron
me
a
today.
Yaga
Please do not push
and
me
Madai.
away. And then we sang the first
Los
verse again.
santos.
Okay, so as I said, this was
Como
Prabhupada's
dije,
favorite song.
esta era la canción favorita
And
de
it
Prabhupada.
embodies the predicament of the
Y,
conditioned soul who is drinking poison thinking it's
y
nectar.
es como el alma condicionada
That's
que
our
está
unfortunate
bebiendo
situation.
veneno pensando que es néctar,
Drinking the world of selfishness and sense
bebiendo
gratification, personal
el
pleasure, and so
mundo
forth,
de
thinking this is nectar,
egoísmo,
and giving
pensando
up the real
que es
nectar of our
néctar
relation
y
with Krishna and love that
renunciando
we're
al
all hungering
verdadero
for.
néctar,
So
que es
I
el
am going
amor
to go.
por Krishna.
I am going to go to the database,
Voy a ir a Vedabase
and we're going to read
y
some
vamos
things
a
that
leer
Prabhupada has said
algunas
about
cosas
this
que
song.
Prabhupada ha dicho acerca de
And
esta
I think
canción.
we'll see some patterns.
Y creo que vamos a ver
And
algunos
I
patrones.
should have done
Y
this study
debí haber,
beforehand, so this is
debí haber hecho este
kind of
estudio antes.
spontaneous, so
Es
there
un
may
poco
or may not
espontáneo.
be
Puede o no
any kind of systematic idea, but we'll get
que
to
haya
hear
una
from
idea
Prabhupada, which is
sistemática.
always important.
Pero
So
vamos a
this is from
escuchar
the
de
ninth
Prabhupada, que
canto,
siempre es
ninth
importante.
chapter, text 28.
Este es
If
el
you like,
canto
I can
9.
share my screen.
Si quieren, puedo compartir mi
And that way you
pantalla
can see.
y de esa forma ustedes pueden ver.
I'm assuming you can all see, is that correct?
Estoy asumiendo que todos
Is it
pueden
readable,
ver.
big enough?
Sí se puede leer.
Yeah, okay. If it's not, get out your glasses.
Si no,
Okay.
vayan por sus
Okay.
lentes.
I mean, you can make
Ore,
it bigger if needed. Just screen.
voy a
O king, O
hacerlo.
hero, this human body
Rey,
is meant for
héroe,
universal
este
benefits. If you
cuerpo
kill this
humano
body untimely,
está
you will
dado
kill
para
all the
los beneficios
benefits of
universales.
human
Si tú
life.
matas este cuerpo,
Purport.
vas a
Srila
matar
Narottama das
los beneficios de la
Thakur
vida
has
humana.
sung Hari Hari
La
Vipale
los
Janama Gainu.
Srila Narottama Das Thakur
Gonainu.
ha cantado.
Manusha Janama Pai Radha Krishna Nabhajya Janiya Shunya Visha Kainu. Hari Hari Vipale Janama Gainu. Manusha Janama Pai Radha Krishna Nabhajya Janiya Shunya Visha Kano. You may have heard that before. So this is Prabhupada's explanation. The
Esta
body
es la,
of a human being
la
is extremely
explicación de
valuable
Prabhupada. El
cuerpo
del ser humano es extremadamente valioso porque en este cuerpo uno puede entender la instrucción de Krishna y últimamente a llegar al último destino de la entidad viviente. La entidad viviente está dentro de este mundo material para cumplir la misión de regresar a Dios. En este mundo material uno anhela la felicidad porque uno no sabe cuál es el destino último. Y uno va de cuerpo en cuerpo. Sin embargo, si uno obtiene la oportunidad de obtener un cuerpo humano, entonces uno puede cumplir los principios de Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, y uno puede apropiadamente puede hacer progreso más adelante después de la liberación para involucrarse en el servicio de Radha y Krishna. Ese es el éxito de la vida, dejar el proceso de repetida nacimiento y muerte y regresar a casa, de regreso a Dios. Estar involucrados en el servicio de Radha y Krishna. Por ello, tomar un cuerpo humano es para completar el progreso de la vida. A través de la sociedad humana, matar un ser humano se toma muy seriamente. Cientos de miles de animales los han matado y a nadie le importa. Voy a dejar esto aquí porque me voy a estar refiriendo. El cuerpo humano es extremadamente valioso y hay muchas explicaciones acerca de esto. Una pregunta se le hizo a Prabhupada: si no nos volvemos conscientes de Krishna, vas a regresar a salvarnos. Y Prabhupada pegó con su puño en la mesa: no me hagan regresar para salvarlos. Como sabemos, esto fue un tema recurrente en la prédica de Prabhupada, al menos para sus devotos. No regreses. Termina tus asuntos aquí. Como hemos mencionado muchas veces, Prabhupada dijo: canta 16 rondas y sigue los principios sin cantar con ofensas y vas a regresar a Dios. Estas dos cosas, estos dos temas son base en la prédica de Prabhupada. Uno puede regresar a Dios si uno lo hace. Hazlo, no me hagas regresar. Acaba tus asuntos aquí. Este comentario aquí está enfatizándole de una forma diferente el valor de la vida humana. Cuando Prabhupada hace este punto, que la vida humana es rara y es extremadamente importante, porque hay más entidades vivientes que no son humanos. Narottam Das Thakur lo que está tratando de mostrar es que puedes hacer muchas cosas que tienen valor, pero hay muchas cosas que pensamos que son valiosas. Las personas están haciendo esto, están ayudando a que otras personas hagan eso, y eso tiene valor, pero eso es a expensas de no autorrealizarse, de no volverse conscientes de Krishna. A veces es difícil para las personas entender cuando le preguntaban a Prabhupada: ¿por qué no vas a los hospitales, a los orfanatos? Y no es que no hicimos eso, no es que dejemos que las personas sufran. Pero el punto de Prabhupada es que no es nuestra misión. Ya hay hospitales, es su misión. Nuestra misión es: puedo curar a alguien, pero de todas maneras van a morir. A veces, como devotos, malentendemos que Prabhupada minimiza algo que pensamos que es muy bueno. Pero ¿por qué lo está minimizando? No porque sea malo, sino que en un panorama más amplio el enfoque se vuelve un propósito más alto. No desperdicies tu vida humana. Regresa a Dios. Ese es el mensaje. Si nosotros estamos completamente percatados que la gratificación sensorial es veneno porque está envenenando nuestra vida espiritual, entonces no es tan difícil. Es cuando olvidamos eso. y pensamos que es placentero, que me gusta hacer esto, pero al hacerlo, en un sentido, simplemente estás preparándote para tu siguiente vida. Al hacer eso, estás preparando tu siguiente vida en vez de regresar a Dios. Si entendemos la prédica de Prabhupada en ese contexto, o con frecuencia, como digo, si entiendes la prédica de Prabhupada desde el contexto de que alguien que ha descendido del mundo espiritual y que está tratando de explicarlo a las personas, él va a decir cosas como: lo que está pasando en este mundo no tiene valor, no hay nada bueno. Todas estas cosas que para nosotros son difíciles o no son políticamente correctas, o porque está diciendo esto, pero cuando entiendes de dónde viene él, entonces todo tiene sentido. Es interesante porque muchas cosas que Prabhupada dice, algunas cosas que Prabhupada dice, que las personas de hoy en día dicen: esto es muy controversial, o parece sexista o racista. Yo estoy de acuerdo con ellos. Sí, parece así, no es que sea así. Y yo creo que cuando Prabhupada estaba aquí, nunca pensaría nadie eso, porque entendimos el contexto desde donde venía Prabhupada. Y era obvio que no era sexista ni racista. A veces, para desenraizar a alguien que está muy apegado a algo, entonces tienes que jalar duro. Lo que estás haciendo no es importante. Es importante relativamente, pero no lo suficientemente importante para arruinar tu vida espiritual. Así es como podemos ser tan autodisciplinados y renunciar a tantas cosas, porque lo estamos haciendo por algo más elevado, y relativamente a lo que estamos renunciando se empieza a ver como veneno, porque se está interponiendo en nuestro camino. Maya, la posición de Maya es hacer que todo se vea como néctar, y causa que nosotros olvidemos todo sobre la vida espiritual. Y la experiencia que todos tenemos, que a veces nos ilusionamos con algo. Cada clase que hemos escuchado y cada pedazo de información espiritual no es accesible para nosotros. Es como una cuenta bancaria que está congelada. Maya congela tu cuenta. Y aunque eres rico, ahora eres pobre. Y no puedes atravesar Maya. ¿Cómo puedes lidiar con alguien que puede borrar tu memoria? Y Prabhupada siempre daba el ejemplo de comer excremento y disfrutarlo. Él está tratando de hacer el punto de que nuestra gratificación sensorial no es diferente desde el ángulo de Krishna, de lo que es un cerdo comiendo excremento. Y si tienes ese contexto, entonces es más fácil renunciar a las cosas. Tenemos oraciones Raghunath Das Goswami dice:
to him is like bathing in donkey urine. It is so despicable. But for us, pride is enjoyable.
Que el orgullo es como bañarse en orina, y para él es desagradable, pero a nosotros nos gusta. Y entonces se supone que nosotros, si cambiamos el contexto y empezamos a pensar: esto es como un cerdo comiendo excremento, todo esto es veneno. Yo soy tan tonto que estoy disfrutando esto. Y las personas me están glorificando, yo me siento también, es como bañarme en la orina del burro. Ese es el contexto de esta canción, y es una buena meditación. Tomar veneno me está matando. Y Maya me ha confundido tanto que estoy en esta situación. Ahora hemos hablado un poquito sobre la potencia de Maya en términos de cubrirnos. Te avienta la ilusión y luego te mantiene en la ilusión cubriéndote para que no puedas ver. lo que las astras están diciendo, incluso cuando la lees. Eso es muy poderoso, ¿no es así? Lees el Bhagavad Gita y no estás de acuerdo, o eres devoto y dices, no, no me importa nada. Esta es la cubierta de Maya. Maya nos va a hacer tontos. Va a hacer que bebamos veneno y pensamos que es dulce. Es así, entonces Maya te va a hacer un tonto y Prabhupada te va a hacer inteligente. Krishna te va a hacer inteligente, el Bhagavatam te va a hacer inteligente. Esa es la idea. ¿Saben lo hermoso sobre la conciencia de Krishna? Es que todo lo que he dicho lo hemos experimentado. No es algo extranjero, extraño. Sabemos lo que significa volvernos tontos porque todos lo hemos hecho. Todos lo hemos sido. Maya nos cubre y olvidamos todo. Es increíble. Como Prabhupada dijo, en la historia de Kapila y de Bhahuti, en el comentario Prabhupada dice, cuando un hombre está en los brazos de una hermosa mujer, se olvida de todo. En relación a Kardama y de Bhahuti, que estaban disfrutando mucho tiempo. Y Prabhupada hizo ese punto. Aunque él es un gran sabio, cuando tú estás en cierta circunstancia, la ilusión puede ser tan fuerte que olvidas todos tus shlokas. En los brahmacharis aprenden 10,000 shlokas.
Our question for today is, have you forgotten your shlokas? Did anything cause you to forget your shlokas? Or reverse it for the ladies, for the handsome guy with the big muscles. Did you forget all your shlokas? Prabhu, I never remembered any in the first place. Yeah, well, now you're in double trouble.
Prabhu, nunca recordé ningún shloka en primer lugar. Bueno, ahora tienes un doble problema.
Yeah. So, never underestimate the power of Maya.
Nunca desestimes
Never underestimate the power of Krishna's mercy to save you, to guide you, to inspire you. So let's continue reading.
Nunca subestimes el poder de Maya.
So, are you seeing the screen right now?
¿Están viendo en la pantalla ahora? No.
Is that? Yes, you're seeing the screen? Or should I?
No, I think you need to share again.
Yeah, okay, I'll share it. Yeah, when I start talking,
Cuando empiezo a hablar.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
So this is... It's a long purport, so we'll just start with the song. The opportunity for this purification is the special feature of human life. In other lives, this is not possible. Such purification can be achieved very easily
la oportunidad para la purificación en especial de la vida humana en otras vidas no es posible. Tal purificación puede ser lograda muy fácilmente por Radha Krishna Bhajan, servicio devocional entregado o prestado a Radha y Krishna, y por eso Narottama Thakura canta. Es bengalí, indicando que a menos que uno alabe a Radha Krishna, la forma humana de uno se desperdicia. Vasudev Bhagavate Bhakti Yoga.
Janayasu Bharagyam 1, 2, 7. By engagement in the service of Vasudeva,
al rendirse al servicio de Vasudeva, uno muy rápidamente renuncia a la vida material.
This verse says that
el verso lo dice.
Vairagya
se produce por el Bhakti, es una causa natural. Los miembros del movimiento de conciencia de Krishna, por ejemplo, estando involucrados en Vasudeva Bhakti, muy rápidamente llegan al estado de ser
But
buenos
people are
Vaishnavas,
surprised that Malechas
tanto
and
que
Yavanas are
las
able
personas
to
se
come
sorprenden que los
to this
Malechas y
state.
Yanavas puedan llegar a ese estado.
Congratulations to all you Malechas and
Felicidades
Yavanas
a
out
todos
there
ustedes
listening to
Malechas.
class today. You are successful. You've become devotees.
Son exitosos, se han vuelto devotos.
I should say all of us Malechas and Yavanas. This is
Todos
possible
nosotros
by
Malechas. Esto es
Vasudeva Bhakti,
posible
but if we do
por
not
vaso de Bhakti,
come to
pero
the
si no
stage of
llegamos a esta
Sattva-guna
plataforma de Sattva-gun,
in this human
en
life, then
esta
as
vida humana,
Narottam Das
entonces como
Thakur sings, Hari Hari
Narottama
Vipale
Das Thakur
Janamaganayana,
canta,
there's no profit in
no
gaining
hay,
this human form
no hay
of life.
ningún beneficio.
So we'll continue reading. Two more paragraphs. Sri Vira Raghava Acharya comments that each of the items mentioned in the first half of this verse is a cause for material entanglement. Should we go back? See what those items are. Oh, it's verse 53. Wrong direction. Lord Brahma saw that Kala, the time factor, Swabhava, one's own nature by association, Samskar, reformation, Kama, desire, Karma, fruit of activity, and the gunas, three modes of nature, their own independence being completely subordinate to the potency of the Lord, had all taken forms and were also worshiping those Vishnu Murtis. So he's saying that all these things, of course, could be used
Él
for
luego el
Krishna service,
señor
but
Brahma
usually they're
vio
forms of
que
entanglement.
Kala, el tiempo, suavaba la naturaleza de uno por asociación, samskara, la reformación, kama, el deseo, karma, la actividad fructiva y los gunas, su propia independencia siendo completamente subordinadas por la potencia del Señor. Kala o el factor tiempo tiene muchos asistentes tales como Swabhava, Samkara, Kama, Karma, Guna. Swabhava en su propia naturaleza.
One associates with bhaktas, then one's swabhava or nature will change. Our Krishna consciousness movement is meant to give people good association so that this change may take place. We actually see that by this method, people all over the world are gradually becoming devotees. So Prabhupada's intention,
La intención de Prabhupada cuando empezó el movimiento de conciencia de Krishna
to preach and distribute books.
Era predicar y distribuir libros. Las personas están viniendo, entonces necesitamos un lugar para tener sangha. Incluso Prabhupada no estaba tan seguro de que las personas se iban a volver devotos. Después de que Prabhupada empezó los templos y vio que las personas estaban volviendo devotos, y vio este maravilloso cambio en la vida de sus discípulos, fue una confirmación de todo lo que Prabhupada ya sabía que podía hacer la conciencia de Krishna. Pero Prabhupada entendió que no iba a suceder a menos que sus discípulos estuvieran siguiendo los programas matutinos estrictamente. Por ello, vivir una vida pura y dar su asociación a otros. Si alguien se ponía en ese ambiente y tenía fe en el proceso, se iba a volver devoto. Asimismo, los que aceptaran la filosofía, si no tenían un buen sangha, iban a tener dificultades o iban a perder su conciencia de Krishna.
Es
un factor importante y conocemos este factor de que estamos volviéndonos de acuerdo a nuestro ambiente, así nos volvemos ese ambiente de personas y circunstancias. Si el ambiente es sátvico, entonces hay energía sátvica y nos volvemos sátvikos. Y así atravesamos cualquier modo. Si uno tiende a batallar con la modalidad de la pasión, entonces la pregunta es, ¿mi vida es en la modalidad de la pasión? Eso es lo que está pasando. Hay una relación simbiótica entre yo y Rajaguna. Me gusta Rajaguna y a Rajaguna le agrado yo. ¿Qué hago? Ahora, ¿qué hago? Si estoy
entangled in passion or ignorance,
enredado en la pasión y la
how
ignorancia,
am I going to get out of
¿cómo
that
voy a
unless I
salir
create
de
a
ahí
sattvic
a
environment
menos
and I
que yo
associate with
cree
devotees
un
who are
ambiente
not in those
sáttvico
modes?
y me
And
asocie con los
I
devotos y
limit my association
no con esas
only to
modalidades
necessary engagements with people who are in those modes. And I don't allow myself
y no
into
me permita a
environments
mí mismo en
that
ambientes
are passionate and ignorant,
que
because
sean
I have
pasionales
if
e
I have that
ignorantes,
tendency,
porque si yo
then it's
tengo
going to
una
have a very
tendencia,
strong effect on
entonces
me.
va a tener un efecto
But
muy
I
fuerte en mí.
create
Pero
sattvic
si yo
environments,
creo
and
ambientes
then,
sádvicos
as
y
a
luego,
consequence,
como
there's
consecuencia,
nothing more I have to
no
do.
hay
If I
no hay nada
just
más que tenga que
have a
hacer.
sattvic
Si yo
lifestyle,
tengo un
which means
estilo
I
de
get up
vida
early,
sádico, que me
I
levanto
chant my
temprano, yo
rounds,
canto mis
and so
rondas
forth. I'm
y
careful about
así.
what I'm seeing,
Yo,
what I'm
yo,
hearing.
yo
If
tengo
I'm
cuidado
just
de lo
doing
que
that, then
escucho, de lo
everything
que
else will
veo.
come. I don't have to do any more than that.
Entonces todo lo demás va a venir. Yo no voy a
If I
tener que
don't
hacer
do
nada más.
that,
Si
then
no
I'll
hago
always be
eso,
battling with
entonces siempre
passion
voy a
and
estar
ignorance, and so
batallando
then
con
my
la
life
pasión y
becomes
la
difficult.
ignorancia. Y
So
entonces
I
mi
make
vida
it
se vuelve
difficult for
difícil.
myself by
Lo
my
hago que
association.
las cosas sean
So
difíciles
if
para mí de
I
acuerdo a
have
mi asociación.
tendencies
Pero si yo tengo
for
tendencias
certain things which are
por
unhealthy,
ciertas cosas
I
que
should
no
make
son
sure that
sanas,
I'm not
entonces tengo que
ever
asegurarme
in
de que
situations
nunca voy a
which
estar en
would
situaciones
cause those tendencies
que van a
to
causar
become
que esas
aroused.
tendencias
And you can just say
se
that's
eleven.
just intelligent.
Y puede uno
And,
decir que eso es solo
and
inteligencia.
we don't have enough
Y no
strength to resist
tenemos
it, but we have enough strength
suficiente
to
fuerza para
not
resistirlo,
be
pero
in that
suficiente
environment. That's the
fuerza para
strength
no
we have.
estar
So
en
if you have
ese
enough strength
ambiente.
to
Si
limit
tienes
yourself from
suficiente
environments that would cause you to fall, you
fuerza
don't
para
need the
limitarte en
strength to
esos
resist,
ambientes,
because
entonces
then
no tienes
there won't be
no tienes
anything
que
to
tener la
resist
fuerza
because you
para
won't be in that
resistirte.
environment. That just makes sense,
Eso
right?
tiene sentido, ¿cierto?
So that's extremely
Entonces,
important.
eso es extremadamente importante.
Like I want to go on a diet, but I don't have
Yo
the
quiero
strength to resist certain foods. Well,
quiero
that's
entrar a
easy.
una dieta, pero no tengo la fuerza
Don't have
para
them in your
resistir
house.
ciertos
Yeah, but then I'll
alimentos.
go to the store and buy them. Well,
Sí,
then if
pero
that's
luego
your
voy a ir a
case,
la
you're,
tienda y los
you're
compro.
really tightly bound by ignorance. But
Si entonces estás atado
the
fuertemente
hope
por
would
la
be
ignorancia.
that if you had enough
La
common
esperanza
sense and
es que si
strength
tuvieras
to give all
suficiente
that
fuerza y sentido común
junk
para
food away,
renunciar a esa chatarra,
that you're going to maintain that.
entonces
And
vas
then
a
if you just
mantenerte.
maintain that,
Y si
you
mantienes
don't have to
eso,
fight it anymore.
no tienes que pelear
But then
contra
the other
ello.
side of that,
Y el
as
otro
we
lado de
know,
esto, como sabemos,
is you have to have good food to eat that can replace it.
es
You
que
know,
tienes que
I've been
tener
put on a
buena
diet
comida
where
para
every day for
reemplazarlo.
Ekadasi, I don't eat any grains. I
No
don't eat
tengo
any
que...
sugar, not even sugar and fruit. It's like you think, well, how could you do that? And I've
¿Cómo
been on
puedes
this
hacer
diet for
eso?
like 2 months. No grains. Every day, I don't eat any grains.
No como
Wow, what do
granos
you eat?
todos los días.
And
Entonces, ¿qué
no
comes?
mangoes, no bananas, no apples,
No mangos, no
no
bananas,
sugar, no maple,
no
honey.
no
You can have
miel,
stevia. All right. So how do
stevia,
I do
sí.
it? I
Y
can have
entonces, ¿cómo lo
stevia
hago?
and monk fruit for sugar, and I can eat berries.
Puedo comer
And I get creative with cooking.
moras.
Yesterday I took a
Ayer
almond. I took an almond. We have almond chapatis we get here. Almond chapati.
yo tenía
Put
una chapati
tomatoes on
de
it,
almendra
zucchini, peppers,
con
little
pimiento, con
cheese, and I baked it in the
jitomate,
oven. That was my pizza.
con queso, y esa fue mi pizza.
So, you might think, well, what do you
Puedes
eat? How
pensar,
can you do that?
¿qué
It's a little
comes? ¿Qué
austere,
puedes
but you
hacer? Es
get
un poco
creative.
austero, pero te
And so
vuelves
you kind of
creativo.
replace it. I
Y
made
entonces
khichdi. I'm
reemplazas
cooking all
todo.
the time now.
Ahora yo
because
cocino todo
I
el
have to eat
tiempo
something, so I
porque
have
yo
to
tengo
cook
que
it.
comer algo, entonces yo
I
cocino.
make khichdi
Hice
with
khichdi
buckwheat. There's this buckwheat that
con,
has absolutely
con
no flavor at all.
trigo
So I
sarraceno.
cooked it with beans and
Hay
vegetables,
un
and you could
trigo
hardly tell it
sarraceno
was
que
in
no
khichdi.
tiene sabor y
So,
entonces lo cocinas con verduras.
obviously, if you want to create
Obviamente,
this
si
sattvic
quieres
environment and
crear
maintain
este
it, you
ambiente
have to have
sádvico, lo
sattvic
puedes
activities
mantener.
that are
Tienes que
satisfying.
tener
Has to
actividades
be what it is.
sádvicas.
Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. That was the verse Prabhupada quoted. Janayati asu vairagam. It gives birth to vairagya, renunciation, bhakti. So, as I've said many
Como
times,
he dicho muchas veces,
when COVID started,
cuando
I
COVID
forget what the
empezó,
class was. Maybe it was when we were
yo
talking about Maya.
olvidé
I
la
was
clase
saying
que
over and
estábamos
over
diciendo.
again,
Yo estaba diciendo una y otra vez
to be Krishna conscious, you
que
have to be
para ser consciente
intelligent.
de Krishna tienes que ser
You
inteligente.
can't be dull brained
No puedes
to be Krishna
tener
conscious.
un con una cabeza adormecida, si quieres ser consciente de Krishna. Creo que eso es obvio. Y cuando se le preguntó a Prabhupada, ¿por qué alguien empieza la conciencia de Krishna y otras personas toman la conciencia de Krishna y otros no? Porque es que el templo estaba limpio, había buen incienso y las pakoras eran ricas, ¿o qué era? Y Prabhupada siempre decía, si son inteligentes y afortunados, entonces se van a volver devotos. ¿Qué significa ser inteligente? Que tiene suficiente sentido común. Que si algo es bueno y es correcto y lo ves, entonces entiendes, lo entiendes y lo aceptas. Y si eres afortunado, entonces lo vas a hacer. Y para ser consciente de Krishna tenemos que ser inteligentes todo el tiempo. Porque si la cabeza se adormece, entonces va a entrar Maya. Maya hace su baile en nosotros, encima. No hay otra forma, tenemos que tener este tipo de inteligencia. Y lo que sea tu debilidad, entonces si tienes una debilidad, te alejas de eso y creas un ambiente sátvico. Eso es más fácil que pelear esos helados y dulces que tienes en el refrigerador. Si no los tengo, ¿qué voy a hacer? Es más fácil deshacerte de ellos que estarlos viendo todo el tiempo. Porque una vez que los quitas, ya están fuera de tu mente. Si no haces esto, Prabhus y Prabhus mujeres van a tener problemas si no hacen esto. Porque no es una forma estratégica de pelear.
Okay, we'll answer your questions in a while. Let's go back to database.
Vamos a regresar a Vedabase.
What base are you on? First, second, or third? No, I'm on database.
¿En qué base están? ¿En la primera base o la segunda base? No estamos en Veda, en la base Veda.
Paragraph begins as for samskara. As for samskara or reformation,
como samskara o reformación, esto es posible con buena asociación. Con buena asociación uno desarrolla buenos hábitos y el hábito se vuelve segunda naturaleza. Por ello, Bhakta Sanvasa. Dejar que las personas tengan la oportunidad de vivir con bhaktas y entonces sus hábitos van a cambiar. En esta forma humana uno tiene esta oportunidad, pero Narottama Das Thakur canta: si uno fracasa de tomar ventaja de esta oportunidad, la vida humana de uno se desperdicia. Por ello, tratamos de salvar a la sociedad humana de la degradación y elevar a las personas a la naturaleza más elevada. Algo que estamos viendo aquí, este es el Bhagavatam. Estamos leyendo, Prabhupada está citando esta canción mucho. Normalmente uno pensaría, el Guru está hablando, está citando Chaitanya Charitamrita, el Bhagavad Gita, pero está citando las canciones de Narottama Das para establecer Siddhanta. Y lo que entendemos es que Prabhupada dijo que las canciones de los acharyas son tan buenos como los Vedas. Lo que está saliendo del corazón del devoto puro es tan bueno como los Vedas, porque es conocimiento perfecto. ¿Y qué son los Vedas? De las palabras de diferentes rishis, y entonces se encapsulan en las escrituras que Vyasudeva compiló. El devoto puro, por supuesto, están dando la esencia. Vamos a ir a la siguiente.
I just read that. I should search. Spell it. Hold on. There we go. So we get 16. Okay. Teachings of Bhagavad. We have to understand that we receive different bodies due to our sinful actions.
Gurudev, your sound
Now
is
we are
not
given a chance to
clear.
It's not clear.
I couldn't understand what you said.
Your sound has some
Your
interference.
That's
sound
okay.
has some
Audio
interference.
wasn't clear, but now it's good.
It's the internet. Yeah. The bogus internet. Okay, yeah. I will try it again. We have to understand that we receive.
Tenemos que entender que
different
recibimos
bodies due to
diferentes
our
cuerpos
sinful
debido a
actions.
nuestras acciones pecaminosas.
Now we are given a
Ahora
chance
se
to
nos da la
execute our
oportunidad de
duty in
ejecutar
human form.
nuestro deber en la forma humana.
Bahunam janmanamante. We have received this body
Hemos recibido
through
este
the
cuerpo
evolutionary
a
process,
través de un
and this
proceso
form is a great
evolutivo
opportunity.
y esta forma humana es una
Bhakti
gran
Das
oportunidad.
Thakur sings,
Narottam
Hari
Das
Hari
Thakur
Vijaya
canta:
Janam My dear Krishna,
Mi
Lord
querido
Krishna, I
Krishna,
simply wasted time.
simplemente he perdido mi tiempo
Manusha
porque
Janamapaya Radha Krishna Nabajiha Janiya Shaniya Isha Kainu. Isha means poison.
Krishna
Because I've
significa
received the human
veneno.
form of life, which is meant for
Debido a que he
understanding
recibido la
Krishna,
forma humana de vida, lo
yet
cual
I have
es para
simply
entender a
wasted my
Krishna,
time by not
aún
taking
así
advantage of this
simplemente he
opportunity.
desperdiciado mi
I've done
tiempo a
everything but
no
worship
tomar
Radha
ventaja
Krishna.
de esta
Therefore, I have
oportunidad.
taken poison knowingly.
He hecho
When one takes
todo
poison knowingly, he commits
menos
suicide,
alabar a
and
Radha
not
y
taking
Krishna. Por
advantage
ello,
of the human form of life is
por
something
eso
like that.
he
So
tomado
you
veneno
remember,
en
whenever I talk about
conocimiento.
self-compassion, I give this
Cuando
example
uno
that
toma
Prabhupada often
veneno
talks
en
about
conocimiento,
spiritual
comete
suicide.
suicidio. Yo he hablado sobre el suicidio
so,
espiritual.
Killing yourself physically or
Matarte
killing
a ti
yourself
mismo
spiritually.
espiritualmente.
Killing your spiritual life.
Matar
You
tu vida
don't
espiritual.
take advantage
No
of the
aprovechas
opportunity. You're
la
killing your spiritual
oportunidad.
life. It's a kind of
Estás
suicide.
matando tu
If
vida
we do not
espiritual.
understand
Si no
Krishna in this
entendemos a
life,
Krishna en esta
we are
vida,
knowingly taking poison.
en
This
conocimiento
material life
estamos
is just like a blazing forest fire.
veneno. Esta vida
Eating,
material
sleeping,
es
enjoying
como
sex, and defending are the main material
un
activities.
bosque encendido,
When we are engaged simply in these things, our
comiendo,
hearts are
durmiendo
always
y
burning,
disfrutando el
as
sexo
if we had taken
y
poison.
defendiéndonos.
How can
Son
we be
las
pure?
principales actividades de la vida material. Cuando nosotros nos involucramos simplemente en nuestras cosas, nuestros corazones siempre están
So this is part of
quemándose,
the song.
como si hubiéramos bebido veneno. ¿Cómo podemos ser curados?
Golokera Premadana means that
Golokera Premadana
the gift of
significa
prema comes from Goloka.
el regalo de prema viene de Goloka.
My dear Lord, you have
Mi
given
querido
us the
Señor, nos
medicine
has
of
dado la
Harinam
medicina
Sankirtan,
Harinam
the chanting
Sankirtan,
of
el
Hare
canto de
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Unfortunately, I have
Desafortunadamente,
no attraction
no
for the
tengo
holy
atracción
names.
por tus santos nombres.
Can you relate to that?
¿Se relacionan con esto?
You've given a gift of prema.
Se te han dado el
but I don't
regalo de
want it.
prema.
Like something's wrong with me. I don't
Pero no lo
want it.
aprovecho. ¿Qué hay de malo en mí?
After class, you can go look in the mirror and say,
Después
"Something's
de la
wrong with you."
clase, pueden irse al
You've been
espejo
given the gift of
y
love of
decirte
Krishna, and you don't want it.
¿qué hay de malo en
So
ti?
the
Te están
song
dando los
continues.
regalos del amor por Krishna. La canción continúa.
Sachi Suto Hoilo se Balaram Hoilo Nitai. Krishna has
Krishna
now come
ahora
as sweet
ha
Chaitanya
venido como
Mahaprabhu, the
Sri
son
Chaitanya
of Mother
Mahaprabhu, el
Sachi.
hijo
And
de
Balaram
Sachi, y
has come
Balaram
as
ha
Lord
venido como el Señor
Nityananda.
Nityananda.
What is their
¿Cuál es
business?
su asunto?
They are delivering
Están,
all kinds of
están
sinful
liberando
men
a, todas
simply by
las,
chanting
a
Hare
todo
Krishna.
tipo de hombres pecaminosos
And what is
simplemente al
the
cantar Hare
evidence of
Krishna. ¿Y
this?
cuál es la
The
evidencia de
evidence
esto?
is that
La
Sri
evidencia es que
Chaitanya
Sri Chaitanya
Mahaprabhu and
Mahaprabhu y Nityananda
Nityananda
Prabhu
Prabhu delivered the sinful Jagai and
liberaron
Madha.
a los pecaminosos
At the
Yaga y
present
Mada.
moment,
En el
everyone is
momento
like
presente
Jagai
todos
and
son
Madha.
como Yaga y Mada,
For everyone is
porque todos
intoxicated
están
and mad after
intoxicados
sex.
y locos por el
Have you
sexo.
noticed that?
¿Hemos
Everyone's
notado
mad
esto?
after sex.
Todos están locos
You
por el
noticed it
sexo.
also. Oh,
También
okay.
lo han notado. Ok.
Yeah, that's where it all ends up, right?
Sí.
You know, the whole center point of the material
El
world, it all
centro,
ends up in sex. That's why
el centro
pornography is
del mundo
more
material,
pornography
todo
on the internet than
termina
anything
en
else.
el sexo. Por eso hay más pornografía que nada.
And in movies, why is it
En,
in so many movies? It sells.
en
It's
películas,
what's on
porque está en
everyone's
películas,
mind.
porque está en la
It's like
mente
the
de todos.
culmination.
Es como la culminación.
What a curse. Now, by the grace
¡Qué
of Chaitanya
maldición!
Mahaprabhu,
Ahora, por la
thousands
gracia
of
de Chaitanya
Jaghais and Madhais
Mahaprabhu,
are being
cientos
delivered.
de,
It is
digo,
this
miles de
active
Yaga y
medicine,
Madhas están siendo
this Hare
liberados.
Krishna Maha
Esta
Mantra that is
medicina,
doing it. It
el
is the
Mahamantra Hare
perfect
Krishna
yoga
está
system.
haciéndolo, es
The
el
process
perfecto
is not
sistema de yoga.
manufactured, and we
Este
have not
proceso no
adopted
está siendo
anything.
manufacturado,
Our
está
business
siendo,
is simply to accept the words of Krishna
no
as
hemos
they are.
nosotros creado nada.
Sri
Este
Krishna himself
sistema,
characterizes his devotees in this way.
este
Satatam Kirtanam.
sistema es simplemente aceptar las palabras de Krishna como son. Shri Krishna, él mismo caracteriza a sus devotos de esta forma. Siempre cantando mis glorias, entregándose con determinación, dándome reverencias. Estas grandes almas perpetuamente me alaban con devoción. Vamos a leer un poquito más. Nosotros necesitamos ser muy eruditos. Simplemente nuestro único requisito es que recibamos las bendiciones del Señor. Las bendiciones del Señor nos van a permitir aprender y seguir sus instrucciones. Solo necesitamos apegarnos a este movimiento de conciencia de Krishna en la base con Bhagavad Gita como base. Cuando estamos un poco más avanzados, podemos leer el Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mismo ha abierto el camino hacia el movimiento Sankirtan. Todo el mundo está en obscuridad sin la conciencia de Krishna. Y en esta era las personas son tan adormecidas que no saben la diferencia entre mukti y bandha.
There's a Sanskrit word for you. Bandha, bondage. That's easy to
Bandha, atadura,
Prabhu,
y mukti, liberación.
Mahabandha.
Prabhu, estás en Mahabandha. Si el ser humano no sabe no conoce esta diferencia, no es mejor que un animal. Ahora tenemos esta afirmación tan fuerte que no es mejor que un animal. No quieres ir a la calle y decir, todos son animales, todos van a ir a Patala Loca. Son como perros y burros. No recomendamos ir a la calle y gritando esto. Y entonces, si no lo recomendamos, entonces, ¿por qué Prabhupada lo está diciendo? Él está repitiendo el Bhagavatam. Que a menos que estás dentro del sistema de Varnashram, del que gradualmente estás progresando, aún no eres considerado todavía un ser humano. Para nosotros eso se escucha muy fuerte porque hay muchas personas buenas, espirituales, y eso es verdad, pero mucho de eso es porque muchas personas supuestamente espirituales en términos médicos no serían consideradas así. Pero para hacerlo un poco más suave, los Vedas también dicen que a menos que no tengas un maestro espiritual, no eres un ser humano, porque no tienes guía en tu vida. Entonces, si no tienes un gurú, estás en ignorancia, no puedes ser guiado. Entonces eres como un animal que si mueres no has hecho ningún progreso espiritual. Esa es la idea. Eres un animal, ¿cómo es eso? No hiciste ningún progreso espiritual. Bueno,
might
si
be
tu,
better off than you.
si tu perro comió prasada, puede que esté mejor que tú.
So not you as a
Entonces,
devotee, but
no como
someone
tú
else.
como
So that's the
devoto, sino
idea.
alguien. Esa es la idea.
So let's read one more
Vamos a leer uno más.
quote. These are all from lectures. Even though
Esto,
there's
todos
redundancy,
son, todo
it's
es
nice
de clases.
to hear
Aunque hay
Prabhupada speaking on the
redundancia,
same verse in different
es
contexts, just to see
bueno
what he says.
porque Prabhupada está hablando
Because
del
then you get
mismo
the
verso
idea,
en
even if we're
diferentes
just hearing
contextos.
It becomes clear. And I think this helps us
Y esto nos
understand
ayuda a entender
the context in which
el
Prabhupada is
contexto
speaking and why
desde el cual Prabhupada está
he
hablando
often
y
says
por
people
qué.
are animals, which is a harsh thing to say.
Que las personas son como
Human life
animales,
is
lo
meant
cual
for
es algo
worshiping
fuerte.
Krishna.
La
Narottam Das
vida
Thakur
es
sings
para
Hari Hari Bipala.
adorar a Krishna.
Janama
Narottam Das
Janama
Thakur
Bhaina
canta.
Gonaino Gonaino Hari Hari Bipale Janama Bhaina. My life is spoiled.
Mi vida
Why?
está arruinada.
Manisha
¿Por qué?
Janama Pai Radha Krishna Bhajya Janya Shuniya Vishakaina. Having attained a
Habiendo
human birth, I
obtenido
failed to worship Radha and
un
Krishna.
nacimiento humano,
And so
yo
have
he fallado
knowingly
de adorar a
drunk
Radha Krishna.
poison.
Y entonces en
We
conocimiento
are
he
trying to
bebido
stop people
veneno.
from drinking
Estamos
poison.
tratando de evitar que las
Krishna
personas
consciousness
beban
movement is for everyone's
veneno.
benefit.
La conciencia de Krishna
It
es
is the
para el
topmost
beneficio de todos.
humanitarian movement
Es
to make
el
everyone
movimiento, el mejor movimiento
happy, to make
humanitario
everyone immortal,
para hacer que todos
make
sean
everyone
felices,
peaceful,
para
to
que
make
todos sean
everyone
inmortales, para que
wise.
todos sean pacíficos, para que todos sean sabios.
There's another statement which
Hay
appears,
otra confirmación
can appear
que puede,
fanatical or
que puede
something.
parecer sectario,
It is the
fanático.
topmost humanitarian movement.
Es el movimiento,
Because
el mejor movimiento humanitario.
if you can bring someone back to Krishna,
Porque si tú puedes regresar a alguien a Krishna, ¿qué mejor servicio puedes hacer por alguien? Y si haces muchas cosas hermosas por alguien, pero no los has ayudado espiritualmente en el sentido más amplio, entonces les has fallado. Por eso, no te vuelvas un padre, una madre, si no puedes liberar. No te vuelvas ningún tipo de autoridad o líder. Si no puedes liberar a alguien, porque de hecho estás cometiendo un acto de violencia. Krishna dice que alguien que no se entrega a él es el más bajo de todos. Y las personas refutaban porque Prabhupada le está llamando a muchas personas los más bajos de todos. Yo no estoy diciendo, yo solo estoy repitiendo. Si me atacan, yo puedo decir, yo estoy simplemente repitiendo lo que se dice en el Bhagavad Gita. Por supuesto, ese es nuestro trabajo. Claro, lugar, tiempo y circunstancia. Tenemos que tener cuidado de lo que decimos, a quién se lo decimos.
Oh, how is he? Narottama. Narottama means lowest.
Narada significa el más bajo.
The lowest of the Naras, the lowest of people. How is
El más
he
bajo de las
Narottama?
personas.
He is an MA, a PhD, a DHC, a THC.
¿O cómo es que es un Narottama? Él es un maestro, un doctor con una maestría, un doctorado. ¿Cómo es que él es Narottama?
He's taken a lot of drugs. Oh, that's TLC or whatever. He's got degrees. How is he Narottama?
Tiene títulos porque es Narottama. Su conocimiento no tiene valor porque no conoce a Krishna. Sus maestrías y doctorados no le van a ayudar. Krishna dice, aquel que no me alaba no tiene conocimiento. ¿Por qué? Porque si estás en tu lecho de muerte, puedes llamarle a todos los maestros y doctores. ¿Te van a ayudar?
If one remains obstinately adverse to surrendering
si
to
uno
God,
se
what is the
mantiene
value of his
adverso
knowledge? He
a
has
entregarse a
none.
Dios, ¿cuál es
Yeah,
el valor de
so,
su
yes,
conocimiento?
okay.
No tiene
You
conocimiento.
know a lot, but you
Sabes
don't know
mucho,
enough to get me out of the
pero
material
no
world.
sabes lo suficiente para sacarme de este mundo
So
material.
that's why,
Por
these
eso,
statements are so strong.
estas afirmaciones son tan fuertes,
Because from Prabhupada's
porque
perspective,
desde la perspectiva de
he's
Prabhupada,
not, so you have to
él,
understand, he's not
tenemos que
attacking the
entender,
people.
él no
It's
está
not that
atacando a las
Prabhupada thinks, oh,
personas,
these people are
no
bad
es que él
people.
piensa, estas personas son malas personas,
But what he thinks is,
pero lo que él piensa
when
es
someone
que cuando
doesn't know the
alguien
absolute truth
no conoce la verdad
and they
absoluta
pose themselves as teachers, they're misleading
y
people. They may be
se ponen a
innocently
ellos
doing that,
mismos en la posición de maestros, no saben.
but still it's being done. And this was very concerning to Prabhupada. The whole
Esto
world
le
is
preocupaba
in
mucho a
darkness,
Prabhupada, que todas las
and the
personas,
so-called
que todo el
leaders
mundo
and
estuviera
PhDs and so forth are keeping them
en
in
obscuridad
darkness.
y que todos estos maestros y
this is a-
doctores
It's
los
a tragedy
mantuvieran
for the
en
world. You
la
know,
oscuridad. Y esto es una
some
tragedia
devotees
para el
are
mundo.
writing me and
Algunos
telling me, you know,
devotos
what's
me
going on
estaban
with
escribiendo y me
the
estaban diciendo,
vaccination, this, that,
¿qué
and the
está
next thing.
pasando con la vacuna?
And I always say that,
Yo siempre digo que
you know, there's a lot worse things happening.
hay
Like
muchas
people are in ignorance and going to take birth
peores
as
cosas que
animals.
están pasando,
That's much
que
worse
las
than
personas están
vaccinations
en ignorancia.
causing some people to get sick.
Eso es peor que
or,
la
you know, our
vacuna que
brains are going to
esté
dissolve in 3
que
years if we
esté
got a vaccination.
causando que las
That
personas
would be a
mueran o que
tragedy if it happened.
una,
But the bigger
o-
tragedy is that
la
is
más grande
ignorance.
tragedia es la ignorancia.
So it's not really the job of
No,
the Krishna consciousness movement to
no es
be
realmente el
into vax
trabajo
or not into vax, but
del
it's really
movimiento
the
de
job of
conciencia de
our
Krishna
movement to save
ser
people from repeated birth and
antivacuna
death.
o pro
That's
vacuna.
where we should be focusing. Therefore, Krishna says, Bahunam
Por eso
janmanam
Krishna
ante
dice,
jnanavanam prapadyate. After many births of struggling
después
to
de
cultivate
muchos
knowledge, one who is
nacimientos,
actually wise surrenders to Krishna. My dear Lord
tratando
Krishna, for so long I have forgotten you, not
por
knowing that
mucho
my only
tiempo
business
te he
is to serve
olvidado,
your
no
needs.
sabiendo
But
que
today I surrender. Please protect me. That is intelligence. Okay. So let's look at some questions. And if there's more time, we will go back. And we will read some more. We will read more about the fools and rascals.
Vamos a leer más sobre los tontos
These words
y
Prabhupada uses.
bribones.
That's funny. You know, we were told in
Se nos
India, if
dijo
you call
en India,
someone a rascal,
si
that's
le
like
llamas a alguien bribón,
about as low as, it's the lowest thing you can call someone.
es lo peor que le puedes decir.
A rascal.
Es
Did
bribón.
you know that? It's like
¿Sabían
the
esto?
lowest word.
Es como la palabra más baja.
Fools and rascals. Why are they
Tontos y
rascals?
bribones. ¿Por qué
Because
hay
they're misleading
bribones?
people.
Porque están
That's why.
mal guiando a las personas.
You know the story? We may have told the story. The
¿Conocen la
Hinduism
historia
professor,
de
Prabhupada said,
un maestro
what is Hinduism?
indio?
He said,
Dijo,
well, it's
¿cuál es
difficult to say.
¿qué es el hinduismo? Es
Which is
difícil de
true
decir.
if you
Lo
not
cual
a
es
devotee and
difícil.
just an
Claro,
academic.
si
Hinduism is
no
vast.
eres
He probably
un
meant,
devoto y
you
eres
can't
solo un
pinpoint it as
académico.
one thing. And so Prabhupada chastised him. You're a
Prabhupada lo
professor and you're
regañó. Tú
teaching
eres
something and you don't know
un
what it is. That's
profesor,
cheating.
estás enseñando algo y no
So
sabes, eso es
that was the
engaño.
position Prabhupada was coming from.
Y esa es la posición de la que venía Prabhupada.
Na guru syat. Don't become a guru
No te vuelvas un gurú
unless you can deliver.
a menos que
Fifth
puedas
canto Bhagavad Gita. Don't become a guru
liberar.
unless you can deliver your disciples. Don't become a parent.
No te
A
vuelvas un
janani. Don't become a
maestro,
relative.
o no te vuelvas un padre, una madre, un pariente.
Don't become anything.
No te vuelvas nada
Where you're going to give guidance to people.
si
Unless
no
you
vas
can
a
guide them
poderle
out
dar
of
guía a
birth and
las
death.
personas.
Okay, so Gopinath wants to get a PhD.
Gopinath quiere un doctorado.
Nothing is bad, Gopinath.
Nada
It's
es
just
malo,
wise.
Gopinath.
Gopinath says, regarding Maya, what
Gopinath
if
dice, en
something
cuanto a Maya,
is, the Srimad
que
Bhagavatam
hay
doesn't
si
make sense to
algo
us.
en el Srimad no tiene sentido
Like
para nosotros, como
Brahma
Brahma
appearing from a lotus
apareciendo
flower. Is that
de
an
una flor del
allegory?
otro.
Yeah, all right.
¿Es
Well,
una alegoría?
not an allegory.
No es una alegoría.
Nothing in Bhagavatam is an allegory unless
Nada.
it says it in the Bhagavatam that
Nada
this is an
en
allegory.
el Bhagavatam
Like
es una
sometimes
alegoría a menos que lo diga.
it says that
Pero a
here's an
veces
allegory,
dice
the
eso.
guru will say, I'm going to teach you this with
Les
an
voy a
allegory,
enseñar con una
with a
alegoría,
story that never happened. a
con
fairy tale.
una historia que nunca
But unless
sucedió.
it says it,
Pero a menos que lo diga,
our position is,
nuestra
okay,
posición es,
I'm one very tiny living
yo
entity
soy una entidad
in
viviente
the
muy
ocean
pequeña
of the universe,
en el océano del
which is
universo,
unlimitedly
el
vast,
cual
with
es
unlimited living entities.
ilimitado
And my
y mi
experience of this
experiencia
world
de
is
este
limited.
mundo es limitada.
So I'm not really in a
No
position
estoy en una posición realmente
to question
de
the stories in
cuestionar
Bhagavatam
las historias del Bhagavatam,
because just simply because I don't have that experience.
simplemente porque no tengo esa
I don't
experiencia.
have experience of many things.
No tengo la experiencia de muchas
So,
cosas.
We are meant to accept the Bhagavatam as a reality and then try to
Se nos
understand
pide
that
que
reality.
aceptemos el Bhagavatam como una realidad y
Brahma
intentemos
appears on the lotus flower. That lotus
entender
flower is coming out of the body of Vishnu. Think,
que
how can a lotus flower come out of the body of somebody?
Brahma sale
How
de
can planets
una
float in
flor de
space?
loto que viene del cuerpo de Vishnu. Pero ¿cómo
How
una
can a
flor
big
puede
ship
venir?
float on the water? And why does a pin sink? I mean, this is all Krishna's
¿Cómo,
arrangement. Right?
cómo
How
un
can, how
barco
can you even
puede
be alive as a human being? It's so complicated.
¿Cómo puedes tú como
Right?
ser
So there's
humano
so,
estar
when you
vivo?
think about it, there's
Es
a
el
lot you
arreglo de
take for
Krishna.
granted
Hay
that
mucho
if you
que tú
never
das
saw,
por
you wouldn't
hecho
believe.
que
Like if
si
you never
no
saw a
lo
human being,
vieras,
with a
entonces,
sophisticated brain, if you were
que
an
si no
ape
lo
and you
vieras,
thought,
entonces tú
apes are
pensarías que no
the
existe.
ultimate end of evolution. How could you even believe that human beings,
¿Cómo
who could create
pudieras
spaceships
entender
and
que
descend
antes
cars and talk
que
back? You
los
couldn't even
humanos
conceive of that, right? With your ape
iban
brain.
a poder hacer tantas
So they're
cosas
higher
ahora?
beings, and so we as human beings, we're not the highest, not earthly human beings. So there's a lot we can't conceive of, like
Hay muchas cosas que no podemos
Siddha and
concebir.
Siddhaloka, they can travel from planet to planet. And Prabhupada said they can do that just like we walk. It's just normal. And we're thinking, how can you travel planet to planet?
¿Cómo pueden
Yeah,
viajar de planeta en
mantra,
planeta?
this, that. What experience do we have?
¿Qué experiencias tenemos nosotros?
We have a gross physical body.
Tenemos un
gross
cuerpo,
senses and pretty
humano
gross
burdo
consciousness
y
until we're
tenemos
more
una
elevated.
conciencia burda a
So
menos que
our
la
ability to
elevemos y
see
nuestra
is
habilidad
restricted
para ver
according to the
está
body, the
restringida
mind,
de
and the level
acuerdo
of consciousness.
a la mente,
So
el
there are
cuerpo, la
things right
conciencia y hay
now
cosas
happening
ahorita que están
in
sucediendo
front of your very eyes. You can't even see them.
enfrente de
They're too
nosotros que no
subtle.
podemos ver.
There are forces working. You can't see them. They're too subtle. They're dimensions of the universe.
Hay
We can't see. We only
dimensiones del
see
mundo que
3.
no podemos ver, son muy
So to
sutiles.
not believe in something because I can't see it is kind of like an admittance of guilt in a sense. I don't believe this. Yeah, okay, that's an admittance of guilt. I don't have the ability
No tengo
to,
la
to
habilidad
see this reality.
de ver esta
That's
realidad.
really the way we should see it.
Eso es la forma en la que
Does that
debemos
make
de
sense?
verla. ¿Tiene sentido?
Gopinath? Anuradha says,
Anurada dice,
when a
cuando un
devotee
devoto
struggles
batalla en
to
detener,
stop doing things that
de
are in
dejar de
tamadon, how
de
can
hacer
we
cosas
help
en
them?
Taman, ¿cómo podemos
Or
ayudarlos?
is it a battle that only they need to fight? No, we can help them.
¿O es una batalla que solo
And
ellos
I would say the answer
necesitan
is what I said,
pelear?
is help them create an
Ayudarlos a
environment
crear un ambiente
in which they're surrounded
que
by good
estén,
association
que estén rodeados de
and
buena
surrounded by a
asociación
sattvic environment. And
y
sattvic
estén
people.
rodeados de un ambiente
Because
sápico.
a lot of times
Porque
people are
muchas
too
veces
weak to fight their own
las
nature.
personas son muy
But if they're
débiles
around
para
other
pelear sus
people
propias
who
batallas,
don't
pero
have
si
that
están
nature,
alrededor de otras personas que no
then they
tienen
don't
esa
have to fight it
naturaleza,
because those
entonces
other
no tienen
people
que
will
pelear
carry them.
contra ello.
And if they create
Y si
environments where they
crean
can be in
un ambiente
environments which are healthy,
que son sanos,
they will transcend it. Like
entonces van a
you can go
trascender.
to Holy Dham or you can
Si
go to a festival
pueden ir a un
or
festival,
Rath
al
Yatra
Santo
or a
Dama,
retreat.
Ratayatra, un
But then
retiro,
once you get in that
y una
environment,
vez que estás en ese ambiente,
all those influences of
todas
tamas and
esas
rajas, they're gone. They're not in that
influencias
environment. So you're
de
not
tamas
affected
y
by it. And
rayas ya
so
no están ahí.
then when you go back home, you try
Cuando
to create that
regreses a
environment.
casa,
And especially you try to get good association. That's essential. If we don't have good
si no
association,
tenemos
we
buena
will tend to
asociación,
just be
vamos a
who we
tender
are
a ser
and
quienes
be more
somos,
of who we are. And
ser
we
más
will
de lo
reinforce
que somos y va
our own
a
problems.
reforzar
They tend to be reinforced
nuestros propios
because there's
problemas,
nothing to
porque
neutralize it,
no
but
hay
other
nada
people
que lo
neutralize it.
neutralice, pero otras personas los neutralizan.
So you may be not feeling good, but then you hang out with someone who's very optimistic and very happy. You feel better, isn't it? You may be fearful about something, then you're with someone who doesn't have that fear. Your fear tends to go away. So association tends to neutralize, isn't it? Neutralize our own weaknesses. It's kind of like, cold day when the sun comes out, it warms up. So you have to get some sun in your life, which is different from the clouds that you're normally in. And then things will change. And so how do you help people? Help them create better environments. One time, a disciple of Radhanath Swami was asking about doing different kinds of programs. Should we do this program, that program? And Maharaj made a very good point. He said, it actually doesn't matter what the program is, just do programs, because the point of the programs is for devotees to associate. So whatever the plea of the program, you can just, sometimes we make up festivals, like the Festival of the Holy Name. Where's that on the calendar? What holiday is that? It isn't. Japa workshop, we're doing it on this day. What festival day is that? No, it's a facility, a sadhana retreat. It's a facility to associate. And association is so important. So the principle of having festivals and special programs, home programs, whatever it is just for association, so that we don't rot away within our own weaknesses, which tend to magnify when we don't get good association. And then create that environment, create that good association in your life, and you'll be okay. Gopinath says, I don't think having a PhD is a bad thing. Knowledge works to help people. See, that's a relative statement. Gopinath is saying that generally amongst educated people, if more people are educated, the world tends to be better. They tend to have better qualities. They can create a better world, smarter people, which is true. At the same time, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, the more you become educated, the more you become foolish. So then when we're looking at it from a spiritual perspective, it's different than looking at it from a material perspective. So is having a PhD a good thing or a bad thing? It's not either one. Ultimately, it depends who you are and what you do with it. Prabhupada would say, if you're not a devotee, then whatever you have is misused. Even though what you have is good, it's misused. So it's like we could rephrase this, Gopinath, and say, I could say, all these rich people, they just want to, spend their money and buy a BMW and Mercedes. Of course, in Germany, BMW, Mercedes, it's not a big thing, because it's just a normal German car. But for us in America, or maybe in Chile, he's got a BMW, must be rich. Yeah, in Germany, BMWs are taxis and Mercedes are taxis. But what I'm saying, you say, so I might be saying, we just want to make money so we can buy a nice car and a nice home. And then someone says, well, there's nothing wrong with a nice car and a nice home. And it's true, there is nothing wrong with it. And there's also nothing right with it in and of itself. It just depends how you use it. So then you say, but isn't a Mercedes better than a Chevrolet? And yeah, if you're looking at it materially, yes, it is better. But if you're looking at it spiritually, and someone uses a Chevrolet to distribute books, and someone uses a Mercedes to go out to shop at the mall, the person in the Chevrolet is now better than the Mercedes in that sense, although the Mercedes is a better car. So yeah, PhD is better than being ignorant, but being a devotee with knowledge is, or using your knowledge in Krishna service is better. So if you are not a PhD, but you know Krishna is God and you're a servant, you're better than a PhD. But if you have a PhD and you can use that to influence people, then that's even better. But absolutely, it doesn't matter for your liberation if you have one or not. And it often becomes a detriment, because then you become proud of what you know because you have a PhD and you think all the devotees are stupid. It could be. Not that you would necessarily think, but you could. I mean, you know what it's like when you have knowledge. There's a tendency to become proud. and think spiritual people are just, foolish. They just have blind faith, nothing better to do than jump up and down on the street. Show me something better to do than jump up and down the street and I'll do it. Haven't found it yet. I dropped out of university so I could jump up and down on the street. I thought it was a good choice. I was happy jumping up and down. Machudananda Das. I like to call them literal metaphors. Pastimes of Krishna form templates of reality. They're simultaneously literal, but also act as metaphors, sort of like fractal. Inside the original image is infinite permutations of the same pattern, but of a lower order. But I'm a mental speculator. No. As long as we accept the pastimes as reality, you're safe. You won't go to hell. But if we think Krishna's pastimes are mythology, then Prabhupada's going to come and pounce on you. Because then you're ruining the whole Bhagavatam by thinking like that. So Ryan was saying, the other day, you were talking about humility can manifest in depression from self-talk if one isn't very advanced. How we still achieve success spiritually and in our career when I'm thinking, I'm suffering. I don't deserve Krishna, but please help me. If we want to achieve success spiritually and in our career, we want to do that as a service. We want to do that to please Krishna. So if I'm suffering, it actually doesn't matter anymore, because now this is my service for Krishna. And, a lot of the doubts that we may have, even the doubt that I don't deserve Krishna's mercy, or that why would Krishna want to help me, and is it okay to pray for help, and all these things. If what I'm doing is in Krishna's service, and I'm doing it for his pleasure, then anything goes at that point. Let's say you think, well, I would like Krishna, please empower me with resources, with intelligence, with ability, even though I don't deserve it, even though I'm not very qualified, but I want to employ this in your service. So as long as that's the mood, you can ask for anything and accept it humbly in service. As long as that mood is there, then anything can work. So I'm not exactly sure how what you meant by suffering. When I think I'm suffering, yeah. Spiritual success. Yeah, but you say, please help me. So we want to be successful spiritually. That's what Prabhupada is asking us to do. If we want to be successful materially, so we can employ that in Krishna's service, then that is our service. We want to make that effort. We're detached. Whatever Krishna wants, he'll give it to us. We'll do it as best we can. And, we exist to please Krishna. So that's all that really matters. And then he can, if I exist to please Krishna, he can give me the world or take it away. And it doesn't really matter one way or the other, because my mood is just, I want to serve him, and, whatever you give me or don't give me, it's the same thing. You give me a lot to serve you, you give me little to serve you, I'm still going to serve you as best I can. If you think I can use more, you trust me, okay, then you give me more, but I don't take it for my enjoyment. I don't think I deserve it, but I use it. So it doesn't matter if I deserve it or not, I'm using it for Krishna. So if Krishna trusts me, he gives it. And this whole thing, I don't deserve this, but Krishna will use it if you give me. So please help me. And you could say, please help me, but you could also say whatever you want. This is what I want to do this service. I'm praying, but whatever you want to give me, give it to me as you think I need. So you can have that attitude. And if that didn't answer your question, then ask again, because it wasn't entirely clear. Krishna Premi says, I've noticed that even some devotees with PhDs somehow become more proud because they feel their academic knowledge makes them superior. There's just two sets of different knowledge, and it all depends on one's attitude. Well, as I've said a million times, and now 1,000,001, anything can make one proud. And knowledge is one of those things that tends to make people proud. And so certainly we should. Oh, there's the song. I thought I uploaded it. If you want to copy it, those are the words to the song I sing. And certainly it's common for people with knowledge to become proud, to feel superior, because they know things that other people don't know. All I would like to say about that is that that's true for anything that you acquire. It could be wealth, it doesn't have to be knowledge. It could be beauty. I'm more beautiful than most people. I'm wealthier than most people. It could be talent. I'm more talented than most people. Obviously, any of those things can cause one to become proud. However, if one is spiritually advanced, nothing will cause one to become proud. That's the beauty of Krishna consciousness. If you're spiritually advanced, there's nothing that can cause you to become proud. And if you're not spiritually advanced, practically everything will cause you to become proud. Even things that you shouldn't be proud of. Even things that shouldn't make you proud because they're not that great. So there's a need to become honored. I have this, I want to be honored. I want to be glorified. If that need's there, everything's going to tend to cause you to become proud. If that need's not there, then you can be like the greatest of the greatest of the greatest and remain the humblest of the humblest, which is such a fantastic quality, to be great and remain humble. It's not difficult to be humble when you have nothing to be proud of. It's not a great qualification. It's a great qualification when you have much to be proud of and you remain humble. So if you gain knowledge and you become proud of it, that's just a red flag. And it's not necessarily because of the knowledge. It's really deeper. It's because I have this need to show my superiority or to think I'm better. And it's just showing me that I have that tendency. But at the same time, Premamayi, it may be that you actually do know more, and you're just stating a fact. You know, sometimes someone talks about something, and I've really studied it, and I think they don't really understand it as well as I do. I could explain it better, and I don't think of that because I'm proud. I just think, well, I've studied it, and they haven't. And if they had studied it as much as I have, they would understand what I understand. So it's not a qualification on my part, it's circumstantial. So that can be there. Okay. All right. So we have anything else? Yeah. The more I learn, the more I realize I have more to learn. Yeah. Even a pauper will be proud of his penny. Hare Krishna. That's scary, right? Just as Ryan says, yeah, just the concept of what I think I become. Thinking I'm suffering over and over adds to the momentum of suffering, not necessarily. Coming from a place of service, this definitely helps. You know, suffering the concept of suffering in Krishna consciousness is repeated birth and death. So I'm in this cycle of repeated birth and death. So I'm definitely suffering that. I'm in a body which doesn't always feel so great. And I have a mind that's not always my friend. So in that sense, we're suffering. But Krishna consciousness is blissful. So you can be suffering as a intellectual reality, but your existential experience is bliss, chanting, dancing, and so on. So maybe that will help you. And if that doesn't help, we'll talk more about it later. Because now it's time to chant, chant, chant. Everybody chant Hare Krishna. Okay. So we will officially end right now. Ek do trin, tin, uno, dos, tres, 1, 2, 3. Class is over.